Hi, it's Anthony with Land Title. I came to bring you your first to know update. Let's dive into Longmont and look at what's happening. Now, if you look at the average sales price, we're down about 3.1%. The median's down about 3.8%. Nothing to be hugely concerned about. We're still rising, month over month, but we are settling a little bit in this marketplace. It seems like we're right in that same vein we have been for the last 3 or 4 years. But there are some, troubles ahead, I think. Now, if we look at this by the condo townhouse market, we've seen a lot of this already take place in this part of the market, but we're down 8% from this time last year. The median is basically flat, but we always want to look at that second check, right? So I always take a look at the price per square foot, and you can see that we're off 1.7% in both single family and condo market. This is really just from being in a market for 4 years that has been, well, very buyer, deprived, right? Without the interest rates being lower and the affordability has clearly been out of whack a little bit. Longmont has always thrived in that part of the market. We're starting to see some of that come through. Now, here's what we really need to know though is like for your buyers and sellers, what do you care about most? Well, you can see active listings have been on the rise month over month. We're down a little bit from last year, but it's very similar behavior still. It does seem that less sellers are coming to market this month than they did the previous year. So month over month, April was down 8%, but our March was way up. So sellers came out of the gate early. You can see that taking place. Usually our seller season is really March through October where you have a lot of listings coming on. But we had 213 listings come on the market. Now we only put 170 under contract, but I say only, this is probably one of the best in all of the area, right? We had more under contracts comparatively, and we had 15% more than we did this time last year. That's stellar. It's so much better than we've had in the last 4 years. So shining light is we've seen a ton of stuff go under contract. That's keeping that month supply of inventory low. It's keeping that inventory lower. Even though we have more sellers than buyers, it's just barely right now, and that's not the case. I just reported on the Denver Metro stuff, and they had 2,000 more buyers or more sellers than they had buyers. So Longmont is in a really unique position, and this is a great spot for them. Month supply of inventory is 2.8, still somewhere around that balanced part of the market. So you should see your buyers and your sellers a little more on even footing, although the higher inventory levels for longer have really driven those prices down. Now, check this out. The market activity tells you what does it feel like to be a seller or a buyer, right? It takes 43 days to go under contract on average. We're not quite to the peak of the market. It usually speeds up all the way till about May or June before it rises again. But you can see it's a little bit slower than it was this time a year ago. Also, the percentage close price to list price is almost identical to where we were last year. So buyers and sellers are still in that same dance that they've been in where, sellers don't really have the upper hand. There's not enough buyers out there, but we've definitely put a lot under contract and it's keeping the turnover happening, right? So that's a good sign. It's a great sign for sellers. Buyers can still actively go out and find something that they like and not have to completely overpay for it. So that's a good sign for buyers as well. It's a lot more balanced in Longmont than in a lot of these markets. The other thing that you want to look at is I like to look at showing traffic because showing traffic tells us, what's coming down the pike. Now we're at 5.6 showings per listing per month. Now that is pretty low, but it's very similar to where we were a year ago. That's a good sign because with everything that's kind of happened in the marketplace, interest rates have kind of been on a roller coaster this year, but it doesn't seem to be taking the wind out of the sails of the buyers. Now, the other part of this is 13 showings to go under contract is pretty normal in a market like this. So it might take a few months to go under contract if you're a seller, but if you're a buyer, clearly you can get out there, take a look at a bunch of different stuff and get something going. This is still so balanced compared to a lot of the markets around. So I think that's a good sign for Longmont. If you have other questions, you need other data or other information, please reach out to me. Otherwise, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel to get more content like this. See you soon.